Speak then, you plant pot.
What? You just dropped me. Is that a joke? I didn't know what had gone on. Why did you add me in first?
Because my camera went dodgy, so you just came in.
Oh my word! It's when somebody put in comments Jack, and I was like, "Oh no way! Have I like hacked in through mine or something?" I thought
my camera went dead, yeah. So I thought, "Fuck it, I'll just put in while it sorts out." And then you sat there and thinking, "Why are you speaking?"
Everybody, absolutely zero pre-warning from your man here, Joe. Just nothing. Just goes live, bangs me in there. I just thought he'll probably have me in about 5 minutes. He'll do his monologue on Longstaff, and then he'll add me in.
Brilliant, man, brilliant. Sorry, the reason I'm late, I'm eating, folks. I've been non-stop all day. That there is sticky Korean chicken from My Protein, because I'm getting hench, bro. What you saying? Getting hench for weekend. Mate, we got one over the line finally. Well, we've not had Here We Go yet, but all the bits have been, cross the D's, dotted the I's. We've gone from, see, it's done it again, Jack. We've gone from, let me just try switch this up, from 10 plus 2 to 12 plus 3. So it's the 15 million we thought. What are your initial reactions to it? Because I know you're a big fan of the player.
I really am, man. Yeah, I don't want to be. I'm sort of joking about a bit on Twitter as well, going ridiculously over the top, saying that getting him on back of t-shirts and what have you. But I honestly, Joe, this is exactly the type of signing that I wanted. I wanted him last year when we were potentially going up.
Yeah,
but I thought it was a bit of a pipe dream last year. Obviously, he featured a lot more last year, but he still had plenty of appearances this year for Newcastle. This idea that he's like really far down the pecking order it's not a fair assessment of him. I honestly don't think it is. Newcastle are a top side. Longstaff, he's not going to blow anybody away necessarily, but he'll pick up some important goals. He will never not be 7 or 8 out of 10. If we get beat, nobody will leave the ground and go, "Well, Longstaff were poor today, wasn't it?" Honestly, I just think he's going to be like bang at it. All I care from this window is we get in as many competitive footballers as we possibly. He just 100% is a Premier League footballer. I'm buzzing about it, Joe. Honestly, I really am.
Yeah. No, agreed, mate. 7 years back to back Premier League experience in a relegation battle under the likes of Rafa Benitez, etc., and then experience at the top end of the table with Eddie Howe playing Champions League football. We were talking about it the other day when we did the video on Sunday, but I just bookmarked a few tweets from Newcastle fans. Like one says, "Good luck at Leeds, Sean. A great servant. Always gave 100%. A grafter. Massive goals. Pen against Forest in the League Cup last season on our way to winning it. PSG in the Champions League and in the second leg of the League Cup semis in 2023. Always a black and white. Lived a dream for his Boyle club. Helped us get where we are today. Played Champions League football with us and lifted our first major trophy in forever. Nothing to be sad about. Good luck. Good luck to him. A much better player than some fans give him credit for." So Geordies, obviously, they love their own anyway, but they know footballers. And who else knows football? Sandro Tonali. I don't know if have you seen what he had to say?
I've not seen what he said, no.
I'll show you. I'll quickly share this. 1 second. Just so people are aware. Remember who Sandro Tonali has played for with, as well. So
underrated teammate ever.
Sean Longstaff, in Newcastle.
Was your most underrated teammate ever.
Sean Longstaff, in Newcastle.
There you go. That's all. Tells you all you need to know, really, doesn't it?
Joe, when you play at any level, if it's competitive football, people don't realise how mint these players are. I'm not saying I've ever played with Sean Longstaff, evidently, but just at any level, when you've got players in there, particularly in centre mid, that are just horrible to play against. Like, as I say, they're always 7 or 8 out of 10, just super competitive. I can't wait to watch him. He's just not going to let us down. He will be a bit of an unsung hero, but he'll be excellent at it. It's not like, I really think it's a big upgrade on.
Oh yeah, massive.
I mean, but people don't. It's got it so cheap. I think that's really cheap.
Yeah, and you know what, we needed it, because I was about to blow my lid when I seen Sunderland linked to Granit Xhaka earlier.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it stressed me out that today, and I put a bit of a stroppy video up about just trying to still remain calm with it all. And then I saw this, and I was like, "This is better than Xhaka." The bloke's 27, but it's better than Xhaka. It's a better signing, 100%.
Sure.
100%. 100%.
Sure.
Xhaka were getting booed off at Arsenal, dude.
Yeah, but that's Arsenal, man. He told them all to feck off.
Yeah, because he was getting booed. He had about 2 decent. I like Xhaka, but he had about 2 decent seasons, and then they got rid of him, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then he's gone abroad. He's come back as a 32-year-old. Longstaff's here for the next 3 or 4 years, isn't he? He's come to basically finish his career with us, try and get us to some form of level. I think it's a better signing than Xhaka. I don't want to pit them off against each other because we'll end up, obviously, you think Xhaka's better, but what's that based on?
Yeah. Well, just levels.
You think he's levels above Longstaff?
Well, over his career, he has been.
Well, yeah, but he's not now. He's not. You were saying Walker was washed the other day, weren't you?
Yeah, but Walker is washed.
Well, why ain't Xhaka?
Because Xhaka's still doing it at a decent level. Done it in the Bundesliga, played brilliant in the Euros for Switzerland. Walker has been
still in England squad. Still in England squad. Just left Man City.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be, should he? He won't be again.
But it's harder to get in England squad, isn't it? Let's have it right.
Anyway, this isn't about Granit Xhaka. This isn't about Granit Xhaka. Let's talk about Sean Longstaff and what that does for us. Obviously, in midfield, it gives us someone who will help us progress it up the pitch. I think that was my main concern as well. That, you know, I've seen some Newcastle fans say he'll carry it well, but then maybe overdo it sometimes, and that's fair enough. But we lack a ball carrier, because Rothwell was that. He would run into space, but we don't really get that from Tanaka and Ampadu as such. They're more like, you know, just knitting it together, stringing passes together. So he's a definite profile of midfielder that we need, right?
Yeah, I think Longstaff will free up Tanaka as well. To be honest, I'd be interested to see if he actually changes the formation. If we go 3 in middle, because I honestly think them 3 in middle would be ace. Ampadu just sort of holding, Longstaff in between the two, and then Tanaka.
Well, they're saying online, mate, that Stack's next to the number 6.
Yeah.
So what does that do for the midfield, you know?
Yeah, because, I mean, if we've got, you know, and there's still, you know, the backups that we had from last year, obviously, that, you know, like your Gruev's going to get pushed right down pecking order, obviously, isn't it? But should probably get moved on if we do bring someone else in. But if we're going 3 in middle, potentially not, though, because you're going to need load in there, aren't you, really? Yeah. I think Longstaff, honestly, I think Ampadu, Longstaff and Tanaka, it'd really get me going. That then it frees up the fact that we don't have a 10. We can just get 2 wingers on, obviously rapid wingers. James Nonto, Ramazani will play his part. If we bring in another winger, Peru up top at the moment. If we can bring in another striker, a big unit.
Well, there's talk of Muniz, you know, that Leeds still think they can get that deal done.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think it'd be mint if it went 4-3-3. I think it'd be brilliant for us. Because I'm not sure, and I don't know whether Farker will want to change, but, you know, I don't see why he wouldn't if he's learned anything from his time in Premier League before.
Might have to, mate. He might have to.
And we're looking at, you know, we've got some big, strong lads in, haven't we? So, which is what we wanted.
Yeah, it's a positive. I think even for the fan base, Jack, we needed something to arrest the build of, you know, because what they can do with this now, it's all about optics, innit? At the end of the day, they can do medical tomorrow. We can get an announcement Friday, and it sort of gives them a little bit of time from the fan.
Respite.
Yeah, that's what. And look, it's what they need, right? It is what they need. Because I've been ready. I've been like a coiled spring, man, to be honest. Because it's like, come on, and not that they care about me, but I'm just saying, like, from a personal standpoint, I'm getting so frustrated with it, you know. And then tonight we saw Sunderland linked to 2 players, and I was like, oh God. And then we get Longstaff finally. Are you surprised it's taken this long, though? I mean, we had last week we had a bid rejected that was 10 to 12, and a week's passed, and we've now finally give them 12 with 3 add-ons. Look, here's a take for you, and I know this might not go down well, but does the James contract enable us to pay that extra for Longstaff? Because I don't know if you saw.
Yeah.
Did you see the graph thing?
Yeah.
It's quite interesting, weren't it? Like, I don't know if everyone's seen it. I'll share it, and we'll just quickly talk about it, mate, if that's all right. So this is what was put together by LUFC Charts on Twitter, basically saying that extending Dan James's contract for 4 years means more for Leeds in terms of this summer, because we did overpay for him at 25 million. So that meant that he alone accounted for 7.7 million of Leeds' annual PSR budget. However, when you extend that deal again, you then get to amortize that transfer fee again. So the 5 million now will get spread over the next 4 years. So that frees up 3.8 million this year, which then might have been a key reason why they've got that done and had that reported, so that they can then use that to help get the Longstaff deal over the line, you know?
Yeah, I think and they're in communication with each other, aren't they? And,
yeah,
you know, neither club, or we're hoping that hoping that Leeds United aren't panicking, certainly, but Newcastle didn't seem to be in a frenzy about it either, did they? So they weren't trying to push. There were no rumours coming out about elsewhere, or no silly agent coming in and saying, you know, trying to pretend that there's all these clubs involved. None of that really happened with him. So I think they have just probably spoke to him saying, look, we're getting this over the line with James. Once that's done, we'll have the extra 3 million that they want or whatever in the add-ons and stuff. So I just think they're in constant communication with each other, really. But it won't surprise me. It's a bit worrying, though, when, you know, you're spending sort of 15 million on a player and you're having to move money around. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't mind if that was I'm not bothered for this 35 million pound marquee player, but if you're moving it around for that, I can understand it a little bit more. But 15 million, it's like, so I was saying, I don't know why we're doing 12 and 3. It's just like, just put the full thing up.
Exactly, mate. Yeah.
Just get him.
Right. Even all we've said all week since that bid was rejected, I've said it on here, it's clear they want 15. It's clear, like, that's what they're aiming for. It just seems mad that it's taken a week, but hey ho, it is what it is. We've got. Are
you not surprised? Genuinely, I don't want to bring the Xhaka thing back up, but are you not surprised that nobody else was in for Longstaff? Genuinely, I'm surprised.
The only clubs for me would have been us three coming up, and you've got no chance of Sunderland, and I think maybe Everton with the players that they've lost. But outside of that, I'm not too sure, mate, because, you know, like a Palace have gone up a level. Who else would you think?
I don't know. I mean, you know, Brentford have just got Henderson, haven't they? And everybody's banging on about Henderson.
It's a good signing for him.
Henderson's a decent signing, yeah. I honestly, I can't tell you the level that I think he's enormously underrated. I really rate him. He's the type of player that he's meant to play with. And he is decent on ball and stuff, but he's not flashy.
Is he like you, Jack? Is that why you have such?
He's a bit more like my brother, if I'm honest.
Right.
He does remind me of my brother. Yeah, he does.
That's why it is, then, yeah.
Yeah, well, possibly, but he does. He's, you know, I like players like that. I do. They're just 100%ers. They never let you down. They're first on team sheet, genuinely. I think, and he's coming to start. And everybody says this about every signing. They go, well, they're not signing to not start. But some players are aware that they're probably not coming straight in.
In fact, he has that full and frank conversation with him. He tells them that. We got that from a news piece earlier on in the year.
And you can't find me a Newcastle fan that wants him gone. They're aware that it's time for him to move on, and probably the best thing for him because he needs first team football. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think
I think if he were from another country, he'd be getting in there. He'd be certainly getting in their squad and stuff. So I just think it's the level that we expect the English lads to get to, really, you know, and the English caps and stuff, which is obviously well off. But like you say, with the being in a relegation battle, Joe, which I'm hoping we're not this season, but he has been through it all. He's like the best ex ever, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
And if you think of someone like Rafa Benitez, he's known for being quite
defensive.
Rigid, defensive. There's a bit of echo. There's a bit of playback, mate. I don't know if that's coming from your end. Hang on, it's gone. So Benitez is very much defence first. He's very rigid in terms of how he sets up his teams, and he depending on someone like Sean Longstaff. So I think, you know, we can certainly do the same, because, you know, there's going to be times this season that you know, we're going to be under the cosh, and we need experience as well, right? And in terms of being a good pro, Sean Longstaff is that. We were talking about before about Byram setting the standard, and Longstaff does that. You know, and I can imagine that's why Newcastle would have preferred to keep hold of him. You know,
I think Ampadu and Tanaka will love it. He's ultimately been, you know, like to what a club that they would like to be in a position. Do you know what I mean? And it's like it's been around some amazing players. I think Ampadu will love it.
Yeah,
he's a similar type of player to Ampadu for a start off, like in terms of like his work rate and stuff. So, and Tanaka gets about enough. I think they'll think it's a huge thing, and it is bringing in somebody from a top current club. I think honestly, I'm so buzzing, Joe. I was needing some myself because I was getting a little bit like aggy.
Yeah. And if you are, then obviously it's
you know, it's more just trying to bat everybody off and just be like, we've got to just wait it off a little bit. But and I've wanted Longstaff. I just have.
Yeah, no, and we got it over the line, like you're saying. And it's all about what's next now, innit? And I think what Leeds United really need is some exits to happen now, Jack. I don't know about you, especially if we're robbing Peter to pay Paul with the Dan James thing. We might now need some exits. I mean, who do you think's potential exits for you? Like, where's your head at with that?
We've got all old loanees, haven't you, that have come back again. I mean, I had a bit of a laugh about this.
Where you at on, Jack? Because what I found quite interesting, Graham Smith said, tomorrow we've got news on Jack. And then also, which is in his Inside Ellen Road piece that he does. And then also Isaac Johnson quote tweeted something on Jack Harrison. So I thought they've clearly been told about Jack Harrison. And Isaac Johnson very much led with he could stay, couldn't, but we'll see if he's on the plane kind of vibe. I'm just going to find it now, what he said. 1 second. Just to iron this out a bit, by the way, as already stated in the piece, it's still possible Harrison could be included, of course, but the point is the fact that his involvement is not guaranteed is a message in itself. If he isn't on the plane, then it's clear what follows in terms of when we go out to Germany. Where do you land on that one?
Well, I'm to and fro. I mean, I'll get pelters for to and fro on Harrison, but it depends what we're doing elsewhere, doesn't it? If we're bringing someone in, I think it's the best case scenario is that Harrison is moved on in it for everybody.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know what the phrase would be, but it just needs to get off the books and go for himself, for our club, for everybody, for fan base, for everybody. But if there isn't another winger coming in, the 49ers will not care. They couldn't care less whether the fan base erupts or whatever. As long as Jack Harrison's going to come and be a professional footballer and not kick a stink out, which he doesn't seem like the type of lad that will, I'll just go with whatever. And if Farker don't mind, I'll go with whatever. The one thing as well, Joe, with the outgoings, like there's Joseph, isn't there? Who
he will be sold, I think.
Well, he's not going to get a look in, is he, at this point? I know that unrests everybody.
And the way that he carries himself, he'll be saying, I want to play. I want to play.
Which is fine. Fair enough. Yeah, it is fine. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Obviously, Joffe and Greenwood, I know they're on the extreme low end of getting any money for, but I had a bit of a laugh about them on my channel the other day, because it's like coming back every season, pre-season must get a bit like, I know, what am I doing? Do you know what I mean? I know they'll probably get a decent pre-season, just, fitness or whatever out of us, but
especially for Joffe, I think, because he's he's played under Bielsa, he's played under Jesse. Because obviously he scored that. We'll always have that moment. He scored that goal against Norwich.
Yeah. I like him. I can't help but like all that. But obviously, it's evidently time for him to move on as well. But and there's like Giabi and stuff. So there's a lot of young lads that haven't worked out that need to be moved on.
Definitely.
I don't know. After that, really though, I think it gets.
Could you see a world in which someone like Gruev potentially gets moved on because he drops down the pecking order? And we saw Leeds with the Kamara last year. They made a quick flip. Could they do that with Gruev? We only paid 5 for him. You might get, 7 towards 10 or something like that.
Yeah, it depends how much we do need to move money about. That's what worries me. That's what I'm saying about that deal. If it is on that, because initially I just thought, we'll keep Gruev about on the basis, like you're saying, you're on about getting 7 million or whatever, and he's probably not on the greatest wage going. Do you know what I mean? So I just thought, well, Gruev can be in and around squad really and sit on bench because he's, again, not going to be, he's not going to light the Premier League up by any extent, but he'll be decent. Do you know what I mean? We do need some squad players, but it depends if we're bringing another centre midfielder, then, and he does want to only play 2. I don't see how we can stay, really.
Oh, exactly. That's the thing, innit? So there might be a world in which he moves on. There was chat about Strauch, but I think the club would be stupid to get rid of Strauch because then you're looking for another centre back.
We've sorted that when that came up about Struijk, all that, but we've sorted the defensive.
Yeah, you don't
line up out, haven't we? So what? We're creating a problem again for ourselves, aren't we? Because if you do sell him, even if it's on that 100% profit hype, you've still got to get another one in. So you've got to spend the money again, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Unless they see Bornu as that potentially, I'm not sure.
I always think it's risky, me, Joe, when we're very much like new player in, new player starts.
Agreed. And do you know what it is as well, mate? I agree. I think that Bornu's a very big risk, and the reason I say that is because his injuries in the last year. You know, it's same with Mechi. You know, that's why. Look, I hope they do well, but like if we were to just get rid of Strauch, get rid of Joseph, let's say, for example, and then Mecha and Bornu pull up because of their injury issues, like, oh, for fuck's sake, we should have just kept what we had. Do you know what I mean?
It's better the devil you know a bit. I mean, Joseph shows no signs of injuries, does he? But
no.
I mean, Struijk's not great, to be fair, and he's with his injuries, is he? But gets one injury a year, more or less. But
yeah. The next one for me now has to be, if we're going to push on with Stack, happy days. I am interested to know how that works, because he's a 6, an out-and-out 6. So does that push Ampadu out of the picture? I'm not sure. So I'm interested to see what Farker's got going in his head with that.
Unless he does go a 3, Joe. If he brings Stack in, I don't see how we can't go a 3, really.
No, exactly. Because Stack and Longstaff will become Stack from Hoffenheim. They'll be saying, well, we're starting.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, surely you're not dropping your captain. And I also think it would be very harsh on Tanaka based on how good the fucking lad is. So it is interesting to see how we go. Adam Guest says 3-5-2 potentially could be the case with the wing backs. With Goodmanson, Bogle, and then I don't know. It's going to be interesting because in terms of links to number 10s, out and out 10s, we haven't really seen any, mate. There was Hamer at the start, but I think that was more an easy link to make. Nothing since, have we?
No, which is worrying because if we start in, we're building all right, and then we end up with Aronson in the 10 come first game of the season. I think I'll have to shut channel down because I won't be able to stand the unrest. But one thing I think bringing in centre mids that does free us up going forward a little bit in general. If we went 3 in middle, they can have much more of a license just to get forward, can't they, our wingers? And if we are playing wing backs, that's obviously the same thing. But it also frees when we're bringing in, if we're bringing in, say, bring Stack in, it makes me feel more towards we can go for we've been linked with a few youngsters and stuff, haven't we, that might be decent. Do you know what I mean? Then I can get on board with that. The reason why I've not been up to now is because I've been I don't want these young gambles. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I feel like we could pick up a couple now and be sort of excited about it again and think, do you know what I mean? Because we've got a decent core. But I mean, if we're not still not linked with a 10 by end of this week, if he's not changing the formation, I don't know what we're doing.
No, you're right, because Stack seems to be the only credible one, and there's a lot of reports online, etc., that the club are confident, or people are confident anyway, that we get that one done. Maybe the 10, I don't know. I know he's not a 10, but O'Reilly's been made available at Man City. He's a top player. Remember, we get, I think, 3 or 2 loans as well from Premier League clubs, so that might be something we can look at later on in the window potentially. But keeper for me is the next one. Based on Graham's article yesterday, it almost feels like they're not sold on who everyone's pick is, and I think the way the recruitment team works now is everyone's got to be in agreement. Based on Graham's article, it felt like, they're a bit undecided. They haven't found their pick yet, but I'd like someone to just, take the lead and say, well, tough shit, we're getting this one, because I feel Farke has to have these key components in place for when we go to Germany, mate. You know, because even just for them as well, being part of the group, etc. Because 30 days or so, we'll be playing our first game. So, you know, we need that sorting, really.
Yeah, I mean, the flip of that.
It can't be Mez.
I'm not going down the best.
Oh, that's what you were gearing up for then.
No, behave yourself, dude. Come on. There's a bit of skin. The thing is about with the waiting out, the only thing I'd say about waiting out is there's going to be keepers that have become well aware that they are not the number one this year. And then they're going to be, you know, so you might end up being in a better scenario waiting it out. And then ending, I thought that to me then.
No,
I thought you just wanted me to talk about Mez.
No, he wants this, man, and I'm not giving him it. So he's like barking at me as if to say, come on, give me that. Give me that.
I'll talk about Mez if you want. I'll just make something up, say that I want him in.
No. Mez to start on next Sunday.
But, you know, like Pope might change his mind or whatever on trying to battle for his position and stuff once he's absolutely aware that he's not the number one and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It might just be things might open up. Dominoes might fall a little bit in position for us. But obviously, the more you get done, the earlier, the better, isn't it? It depends what you think to keeper, though, really, and how important keeper is. You know?
Yeah, look. No,
I know that they're actually. I know I'll get everybody will go crazy for just asking that question, but you know.
No, I've been saying it, mate. Like at the end of the day, they're there to keep goal and kick short or kick long. It's not that deep.
And but as long as they're decent at doing that, they breathe. Yeah. Everybody just believes in it, don't they? And going everybody outfield just go, oh no, the keeper's all right. They're not in the trenches with you, are they? As such, you know what I mean? You just want somebody that you can turn around and go, if a cross comes in, he'll come and collect it. Do you know what I mean? It's not really as important as the role is.
No, I get it.
You could pick up one day before, couldn't you, and go, well, he's decent, him. Do you know what I mean? Which won't be ideal, but.
Yeah, no, you're bang on. You bang on. I just want, and I think the club all were in agreement that they wanted Pope because when the information came out initially about Longstaff, they mentioned Pope in the article and said that he'd said no. Look, I'm staying. So it seems they were all bang on that, and I can understand why because Pope would have been freaking class for us.
Yeah, that would have been brilliant.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, but. Obviously, it looks like we're going to have to go to the continent and see what's out there. Obviously, you've had that Vanya linked, and there's the guy Lucas Perry at Lyon as well. So we'll have to wait. But yeah, let me just respond to this as well. We're not saying we need a good goalkeeper. What we're saying is in terms of what's a goalkeeper being in Germany, I guess, isn't as important as your number 6, as your 8, as your, striker, because they're going to be playing patterns of play, right? That is what we're saying. Whereas the keeper is there to save a shot and then roll the ball out to the centre-back or kick it long. That's all, really. I'm not downplaying what they do, but it's like, it's not as important as other positions. You still need a top goalkeeper. We saw that last year, In terms of going forward, mate, we need a winger. I think Ramazani, Nonto, James is okay, but we need a bit of an X factor there. Maybe Solomon comes back. Would you be happy with them as a 4, or would you want someone a bit like, I know Rafinha's a hard pick, but someone that level above potentially?
Well, if you're asking me to pick between Rafinha and Solomon, it's I'd be certainly a dancer Solomon for obvious reasons. I think Solomon's a type. That's what I was sort of saying with Pope, though. That's the type of thing that might come a little bit further down the line when he's probably aware that he's not going to get anywhere near its side. Do you know what I mean? And then if he does think he's out of favour, he might be, or they might want to move him on themselves. He might end up coming back.
Yeah, the fact they're bringing in Morgan Gibbs-White, I know that's not sorted yet. There's no game time there for him for me.
No, and he was saying, Frank was saying, whatever, what's he called? Thomas Frank. He was saying that he wants to have a look at him, but they said that to absolutely. He's the nice man, isn't he? So they said to him, he's not the type.
What are your thoughts on Frank? Because you give me stick for Chrissy Wilder and that. I proper rate Thomas Frank. So what?
Well, do you think Tottenham will be decent this year then?
Yeah, massively.
Massively decent. What's that mean?
Yeah. Well, there won't be anywhere near bottom. They'll be in top 6 for me.
But is that the Thomas Frank effect? Because you were massively into Postecoglou as well, weren't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess I was, mate. Yeah.
I think Thomas Frank's a more proven
Yeah.
manager than Postecoglou. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether or not he can do it, I think it's when managers move clubs, it's a completely different prospect in it. It's a different club, different. I mean, if Brentford dropped off for 8 games, this is what I've said about wingers before. If they drop off for 8 games, nobody really says, "Oh." If Tottenham drop off for 8 games, everybody's on about it. Aren't they? So it's different levels of pressure. I think he'll be all right. I think he's a good manager. I quite like him.
Yeah, Brentford. Their owners selling up as well, I think, potentially.
I didn't know that they really are.
Yeah, there was news yesterday, and it just makes you think that is he seeing something and going, do you know what? The time might be now.
Yeah,
for
like
me
this is
to
as
leave.
strong as they're going to get type of thing. Yeah.
Sell it. I mean, they do that with players, so why not do that with a football club, if you know what I mean? He's built a new stadium. I just think to go from Thomas Frank to Keith Andrews, who's never managed before in the Premier League's wild. I think they're going
good on set pieces, though, isn't he?
Good
on set pieces.
Mental. Yeah, fuck knows, mate. I can't stand that guy as well. I cannot stand him. So he better not come to Ellen Road and get a result because he will love it. I'm telling you, I used to love it when Leeds lost. And I'll never forget, mate, when we did the Sky thing when I was at All Leeds TV and we went on Sky after we'd beaten Derby. And I had binoculars out and that, and he was sat there and they were Beckford. I think it might have been Scott Minto and him, and they were all laughing. He had a proper straight face, wounded man. I was like, you fucking knob. So yeah, he does not like Leeds. So I would love it. I would love it if we
beat them. And we need to be beating teams like that, as you well know, don't we, Joe? That's why I'm not worried about the Sunderlands and Burnleys.
Well, I did a video with my friend Martin today, and that's gone down really well. There's been a lot of love for it and a lot of love for Martin, so it's great to see. But he said, Joe, what we need to look at it as is bucket it up in loads of little mini leagues. And he says within our mini league, he says Sunderland, Burnley, West Ham, maybe Brentford. He threw in Man United just for shits and giggles. But basically, he said you need to finish top of that. He said it's all good and well. You go away to Arsenal and get a result. But if you lose to Sunderland at home, it's meant nothing. You know what I mean? And he's got a point. You need to be making sure you beat the teams in and around you, man. Get that gap. Yeah,
we were on about it the other day, weren't we? The bottom 3, hopefully, providing we're not in it, are just like they always are, just the dross that they're in. And once you get 10 points away from them, it's a gulf of a gap for them to catch up. And then you've just got to keep plodding along, haven't you? And you do end up... I mean, Tottenham and Man United was so bad this year to finish where they finished, and they were still... How many points off drop?
Yeah,
still that's difference between finishing 5th and 10th in Premier League. It's like a huge point difference. So you've just got to get out of the drop, which is obvious to say. But my point being with that is you're so far away from it. As long as you're not dangling around in and around them, it doesn't even matter if Sunderland then pick up a point against you or whatever. They're not gaining on you. It's not. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even putting Sunderland in bottom 3 now in this conversation. I just mean whoever's in it. As long as it's.
Do you know what? I'd actually love us and Sunderland both to stay up.
Oh, it'd be brilliant. I've been saying that. Yeah, I'd love it if Sunderland stayed up, as long as it's not at the detriment to us.
And I do think, I know this isn't. I do think with Siddiqui, Diarra, and if they added someone like Xhaka, I think it'd be a great midfield 3. That 3, but we'll do our business. It is what it is. I know people say, "Oh, don't worry about Sunderland. It's not about," and I get that. It's just hard when you're not doing business when you see others doing it. It's just the nature of the beast.
It's just because it's slowed up, in my opinion, though, Joe. And they've gone on a bit of a roll. Yeah, and it hasn't stopped. So it had gone and then it's like, wait, we've become stagnant. When in reality, we got quite a bit done. None of it were necessarily mind blowing, but it's all we got it done. And then we seen
5 in the door now, Jack.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It is a good window now. Yeah. It's just funny, isn't it, how this, but like you were saying 10 minutes ago, we've got to move again now. And then, we look at, and then you go, this is now a very good window. Do you know what I mean? It's just interesting how the one player can massively change the window, can't it?
Yeah, 100%. even like yesterday, they tried to do after the Graham Smith article. They gave us the Dan James news, and it went down like a lead balloon because people are
I
like,
felt sorry
no.
for James with that, man. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he won't care, but it's just,
No.
does James ever get anything? It just always seems like he's like,
I think,
the
track top he wore got more love than
the
contract.
Yeah, I saw your video. I think it was yesterday or whenever he'd signed, and you were like, oh, and then you were just uploading tracksuit going, oh, but this is absolutely. And I thought, poor lad, he's become a model now in the tracksuit rather than like, you know,
how good is that?
Signing a 4-year contract. Oh, it's lovely, yeah.
It is lovely.
It's lovely.
What have you said? What do you make to away top as well?
Is that official now?
I think it's official. Yeah,
it's good.
It's banging in it.
Yeah, it's meant. We said, didn't we? To be fair, blue one would be good away because I'm not blown away by it home one, but
no. Remember, folks, as well, you can get the shirts through a link. I've noticed now every man and the dog's doing it. I thought I was special, but everybody's doing it now. But yeah,
do it through Joe's though. It's the best way to do it. I'd say.
Yeah, it's the best way. It's quicker.
And on that note, I actually don't mind the home kit.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. No, but I actually mean that as well. I don't, you know, it's just not. I'm blowing me away, but it's a white kit, innit? I sometimes think Leeds fans get a bit, and it's like it is a white kit. What can you do with a white kit, really? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right.
I want it to stay white. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to start moving it around. Is there talks of a black kit or something, Joe?
Yeah, the third one apparently.
I'll tell you what. I think it were Aston Villa. They played in like I can't remember what competition it was, but they're just a one-off to celebrate something. Or I can't remember whether it was a political thing or something. But they played in a jet black kit, and I was like, "Oh my lord, that were."
The last black one we had would have been where it was like a luminous yellowy type stripes, wasn't it? I think.
Oh, would you want a jet black kit, me though?
Yeah, just jet black.
I love jet black though.
I've not actually seen pictures of it, but I just know that apparently it's black. So if anyone's got it, send it me over because I've not actually seen it. But I actually heard something on a podcast today when I was driving over that with home kits, what they tend to do, Adidas and Nike, they'll give you basic kits and then they'll throw in a wild one. So that also the following season, they'll go back to basic and just make it plain white. I don't know how true that is, but there's method to the madness, apparently. But if you're a tier 1 club as well, you get the exciting designs. Tier 2, you just get stock. I think we are falling into that tier 1 bracket with the fact we got the yellow one last year with a different badge. This year, we're getting a blue. You know what I mean? So I think, yeah, because like Arsenal, for example, they get new gear every bloody week to Arsenal on there. So... yeah. But just to round off, mate, Leeds will pay 12 million up front, 3 million in achievable add-ons, one of them being if Leeds survive relegation. When you think, well, 3 million for surviving relegation and Sean Longstaff, they bite their hands off. 171 Premier League appearances, top flight experience, predominantly used as a centre midfielder by Newcastle, both defensive and on the attacking side. Happy days, right? We're over the moon.
Proper centre mid. Yeah. 25 appearances this year, which is allegedly the year that he can't get in the side. So, you know, I'm aware that a lot of them will be substitutes and stuff, but
yeah.
Newcastle are a very good team at the moment. Got an amazing midfield, probably one of the best, or certainly one of my favourite midfields to watch because I just like how they play. You know, they've got a bit of both, which I'm hoping we can be like the B grade of that, you know, with Ampadu, Tanaka and Longstaff. That's why I'd like them three in there because I think they've all got similar attributes, but also really would affect the game in different ways. So I think it'd be a mint 3.
Yeah, 100% it will be. Elite Warfare, it's 15 million all in, 12 plus 3 million in add-ons. Apparently that's the black kit, which will sell like hotcakes if true. Would you buy it, Jack?
Yeah, that's what I'm on about. I love stuff like that, man.
Yeah, it's a banger. It's a banger. And like Gilly says, black is slimming. There you go. Jack, have you got anything coming and popping on the channel?
I'm just doing videos every day, more or less, Joe. Just doing a shit vid for, about 6:30, between 6:30 and 7:30 they normally drop, and then I'll go live on Thursday. Still doing that. So,
what about the music? Anything popping?
I've got some stuff, man. I just never know what I'm doing with it. It does me head in. So whenever there's something there that I'm actually half happy with, I'll send it your way. Do not worry.
Still waiting for my track to play like on intro and stuff like that, man.
Well, if you send something that you'd like in the vein of, in the style of,
I'll
do it in the style of something. You'd have to think of it now, but you know.
I'm eating. I want the style of that one.
I can give you that one.
Yeah, and obviously, mate, the big game is on Sunday. I've been in the gym. You've been doing runs. You've been messing about the ball. How excited are you for Sunday?
I'm buzzing, man. Yeah, I honestly think it'll be. I can't believe it's come around so fast, to be honest. But it's going to be a mint day, isn't it? Yeah. And I'm not just saying that to push it, but it really will be fun for all. I do believe that.
100%. Yeah,
and it'll be a good game. I'm excited about the game. And,
yeah,
you know, no
we're
messing.
Going to stick about after and meet people and that, aren't we? If people do want to stick about after the game and meet folk. Yeah, game face on. I can't wait. You know, I keep getting giddy at the prospect of it. Thinking
I do it. So I'm looking forward to. It's really sad, but I'm looking forward to warm up, mate.
Yeah.
But I used to. Funny enough, I used to have a joke when I was younger. When we used to all be like, "Oh, games won in warm up." You know, when coach used to say that, and all young kids would be like, "What is that about? Games won on pitch, innit? Not in warm up." But I'm like, let's have this warm up. Let's get in this warm up.
Have you thought about the prospect of an outside of the box strike like my daughter like tonight? You know, have you thought about that one? Clean strike, bottom corner.
I try not to put too much pressure on that because if it don't come, I'll start forcing it, and if I start forcing it, it's off everywhere. You know what I mean? So if it's there, I'll have a ding.
Pressure anyway, haven't we? As a group. I think we've given you enough pressure as a group.
It's awful. It's been horrendous. It's not been worth it. I shouldn't have bothered showing up.
Love that. There you go. From Oliver, weekend, £7 adults, £3 kids. Yeah, do you know what? For me, mate, it's just going to be being able to play in a stadium at any level I've never done. And obviously, my kids being in the crowd. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's mega.
Yeah, it's quality. The game will be streamed on Joe B's channel, rightly so. He's put it all together. We owe him a big debt for that as well. But yeah, Jerry's playing. Jerry's going to be playing right centre-back next to your boy at right-back. And then when I get the ball, I'll just be going, Jack, where are you? And it'll be going into Jack. Because
he'll see me back. Like,
no,
go, Jack, where are you? And I'll just be running off.
Trust me. Give it me. Trust me. That's what he'll say. Oh, there you go. Have it. Yeah, there'll be none of that, Duncan. There'll be none of that, mate. I'm not going past halfway line unless it's for a corner. Yeah, anyway, right, we'll leave it there. Listen, folks, thanks for tuning in. I've kept Jack from his tea long enough. It's 10 to bloody 11. His missus will be fuming. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit the notification bell, and hopefully we'll be back tomorrow with some Here We Go news and Sean Longstaff in a nice white shirt. Peace out, folks. Oh, hang on. Before I do go, we do have some super chats. I'm sorry. Tommy Gunn, 490, became a YouTube member. Big up to you. Jimmy Glass, the goalkeeper, says Longstaff is one of those players where if he went elsewhere and we played his new team, we would all say, you know what? Why didn't we get him? He's solid. 100%. Jimmy Glass also says, hear me out. We have often revisit players we tried for in the past. Matt O'Reilly at Brighton for me would be the dream creative 10 in this side. And in the Athletic article they did the other day about clubs needing to trim the squad, Matt O'Reilly was one that might be available from Brighton, so it might be worth a look, actually, Jimmy Glass. And Pete Benson says, scumming Sweden this weekend, never mind Germany. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully we'll win that one. They've only brought one player in. We've brought in 5, so get it up, yeah. And thanks very much. Make sure you go on over and check out Jack City, City of Leeds fans. Check both, subscribe to both channels. I know, I need to go now. Sorry, Jack. Peace.